Okay, hello YouTube. I will reiterate slightly that we're doing lockout competition and now I'm generating a random split into pairs. Okay, nobody said no. Full screen. I don't want to mess up my settings in OBS, so I'm not going full screen. Okay, and if you don't see if dice goes outside of a desk, we repeat. Okay? 1 or 2 is Jaeger versus Tourist, 3, 4 versus Radewoosh. Jaeger versus Radewoosh. And go. Well, we need to repeat because that's on the edge, like that. You don't see it. It was, damn it. It was on the edge. Again. Hop, hop. I need to do it lighter. 3 is Jaeger versus Radewoosh. Beautiful. No problems at all. And it was requested by one participant that he doesn't want to start early. So let me take a look. Then first competition is Tourist versus Mike. I will update this. And we'll start in like 5 minutes. First semi, Tourist versus Mike. Second semi is Jaeger versus Radewoosh. And this will be ABC 170, ABC 172. ABC refers to Atcoder Beginner Contest. You viewers can already see the problems if you want. I hope that I didn't mess up anything. What a big dice. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're starting with Tourist versus Mike. I need to join Hangouts again to see the boys. Give me a second for that. And I'm ready as well to make some drawings. I think I managed to set it up in OBS so that I can click something to switch from my face to a drawing tablet. Okay, I don't see Tourist in Hangouts, so we will need to wait a second more, because from each semifinals there is a person who requested it to be just a little bit late. Okay, and now, okay, so to the stream, I will be back in a moment. Hello back, everybody. Possibly we will modify things on the screen by some pixels a little bit. On the left we have tourist, on the right we have Mike. And guys, do some sound test for me. Okay, they don't hear you. They don't hear you, but they will in a moment. Output. Okay, and now people should hear everything that I hear. So say hello again.
Hello again.
Hello again.
And now chat, please tell me if you hear hello again.
Again.
Again? Yep, sure.
Okay. Hello again, again.
Hello again, again. Yeah, glad to be here.
What is it? 7:23 for me. We will start either in 2 minutes or in 5 or in 7 minutes. On the left we have Tourist, one of the strongest guys in competitive programming. On the right we have Mike, not one of the strongest guys in competitive programming, but I will immediately say I'm very similar level, so I'm also, I don't know.
I'm not the weakest, I hope.
I'm not trying to be mean to other people. So Mike is an underdog, so I, and I hope everybody in the chat, will cheer for him.
I will cheer for him as well.
Okay.
I will cheer for me as well.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Everybody agrees on
Good
that.
that we agree on this topic.
The rules are, we are doing at Coder Beginner Contest number 170. You see screens of people on your screen as well. There is 30-minute timer, not necessarily this will be hit, because whoever gets 1100 points first wins. So it's about computing some subset and seeing how it goes during the contest. When they start, I will also add colors to the stream, but they can mark blue and red. Problems solved. You will see it on the leaderboard just above my head. What is the exact time? It's 25 is past. Do we start at 26? Are you both ready?
I'm ready.
Sure. So,
Okay.
one small question again. So we can view the submissions page, the all submissions page, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You just don't open editorials.
Yep, sure.
And in case we need to decide, in case of ties, either we say that the result page decides or the submission page on AtCoder. Both have some disadvantages. So the page you're using for results, it is lockout style. When one of you marks a problem, the other guy cannot. So one possible rule is whenever you see that you accepted a problem, you immediately go to result page to mark yourself so that the other guy couldn't. Is that fine?
I would do that, yes.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
submissions page sounds. I mean, so you mean that we have to mark faster than our opponent as well,
Yes. It was otherwise.
Okay.
It was done otherwise during previous lockouts.
Yeah, during previous lockouts, it was just the submissions page that decided it, and then, then obviously it's profitable not to mark it immediately after you solve it, but the gentleman agreement is that you do that.
Then let's say that you are my guinea pigs, and the leaderboard decides. So whenever you see accepted, it's up to you to mark it. And
so if I submitted the problem earlier, or actually if I submitted earlier but my solution runs slower, then I can also lose that.
Exactly. It's not the submission time that matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also have to be effective, right?
Okay, we will test this thing. We'll see.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm There is a cool website, time.is. I'm running it now. And because it's 27.13, we will wait for 7:30 for me. I should have guessed that it will be quite late. At first, I said to the stream that I'm starting at the first semifinals 10 minutes past the full hour.
Yeah, let's start at 30, I think.
Yep.
Sure.
And I hope nobody in the chat has OCD because, or actually among viewers, because everything in OBS is done just by my hand, so I'm sure nothing is symmetrical here. I'm very sure about that.
Yeah, if anybody has OCD, wait until you see my code.
Do you mix tabs and spaces?
Of course. Tabs
That-
for indentation and spaces are for continuous indentation on a line.
You can just type in one line other than the include, I guess. Define, like everything starting with hash.
I guess I can do that.
90 seconds left. I will see if chat says something interesting.
Any strategy tips from the chat in the meantime? What should I start with?
What tips we should start with?
No, what problems we should start with?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So,
anyone?
Gennady, you can start. Which problem are you starting
Oh,
with?
actually, you can pick the one. Well, then I pick 600, and then I'm in a bit of disadvantage, right?
I think the strategy, just like any, how is it called? Nash theory, Nash equilibrium, is that you choose everything with some probability.
Oh, well, it's probably not same probability, but at least not zero probability, I guess. But yeah 600 sounds like the worst option, honestly. Anyway.
You're just
Maybe
saying
I'm
that so
just
that I
saying
don't
that
pick it,
to start.
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that I do and you beat me to it?
Just some mind games. It's fine.
Okay, it's 25 seconds left, and I guess you can leave. It's up to you whether you want to leave the sound on. We will hear, I guess, your keyboard. If something will be annoying for the chat, then I will just in my OBS turn your sound off. So don't worry about it. It's up to you what you choose. 10 seconds left. Good luck to both of you. 5 seconds.
Good luck.
Good luck. And actually, in Hangouts, I will mute myself. Turn
Can
on
start,
the
huh?
microphone. Now I think they
We
both.
start?
Yes, you should start. They cannot hear me anymore.
Yeah, I guess we start.
Yes, you
What?
start. Yes, you start, and
Okay.
you will not hear me anymore.
Let's start.
And I think again they cannot hear me. I know problems, so I will talk a little bit about them. I also have a drawing tablet. This is AdCoder Beginner Contest number 170. Chat, if you can, somebody can copy paste the link to a contest for me. Also, if you are watching me on YouTube right now, switch to Twitch, twitch.tv/Errichto, and I'm only following chat over there. I see that Mike's internet is quite slow and it opens for a long time. And tourist is coding problem A. The beginning is very chaotic, so I will not talk about solutions for a moment. Something's maybe still wrong with Mike's internet. It's actually very bad. And we see on the right part of tourist screen that he already reads problem D, worth 400 points, I think. He's typing a lot, but I don't see what he's typing. And tourist got B. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to add colors. I wonder if this will be over in 5 minutes. Color source. No. Sorry about that. And this should be red. And for now there is no blue, but you can guess that the other guy is blue. I will open problems myself to see what they are doing. And one node for drawing. Tourist is done with another problem. Mike is solving problem E, which is very implementation heavy problem. Problem E, worth 500 points, is just about implementation. There is no thinking, and you just need to spend like 5 to 10 minutes coding. I will talk about it more in a moment. It's better to remove your picture because the screens of Tourist and Mike are small. But I want to replace my face with drawings. And notice that their screens is small because it's about width. Removing something down at the bottom doesn't help too much. If you want me to read a comment, please mark me, say @Errichto. And right half of the screen. Okay. We can do some drawings. Cool. Add coder. I will quickly say what's the first problem about. A is just this. You are given 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 0, 5. You need to say which one is 0. Every other number is equal to I. If this is the input, then you need to say 4, because 4th number is missing, is replaced with 0. Tourist is done with D. So he has 600 points, and now if he solves 500, he's done. But Mike is far ahead with 500. So let's talk about 500 pointer. By the time people read A, Tourist wins the contest. Yep. And I'm trying to see, let's do this for a moment. Edit, transform. We can see that Tourist is reading F, the last problem. That was F, but I will talk about E first. Problem E, so 500, is about the following. There are different groups. Every group has some value. Actually, there are children, but every group of children, those children have some strengths or whatever that is. Their rating, their code forces rating, coder rating actually. And we care about the highest of them. If there is another group with values 7, 8, and 5, then the highest of them is 8. And now, out of all the groups, we look at those maxima, and we care about the minimum of those. So here it's 8. This is defined as evenness in a problem, and you need to print it. But also there are queries. Q actually transfers that some number goes now to the other group. And now it will be here. The total number of elements and the total number of updates is around 200 million. So it's all about maintaining some sets, or actually multi-sets. This will be a set and also a multi-set, sorry, and also maximum will be kept in some another multi-set so that you could print what is the minimum out of those. That's the whole E. And if you look closely at Mike's screen, you should see some operations with sets already for sure. tourist is thinking. Yeah, I think he's still thinking about F, because that would give him the first place. And because guys talked for a moment before about it being stupid to go for 600, tourist might guess that Mike is going for 500. And then tourist shouldn't follow him. I will turn this off, right half of screen. Why am I not competing? Because I am commentating. I competed a week ago against William Lin and I lost. But that was my first time. Okay, so edit transform 0. Again, I wonder if there are some stream issues on Gennadi's side, because I see him typing and I don't see any movement on his screen. You can watch him as well directly on twitch.tv/deadtourist with 2 underscores. Somebody linked it in the chat already. So there is some issue maybe on my side with import. That's very sad. I will try to resolve it. Also, I think you hear annoying messenger sounds. I will turn it off. Stream is always delayed compared to camera. Okay. I think it's just stuck right now. Somebody in the chat already provided links to those 2 guys. That's one thing you can do. Get stream URL. I will import them again, but I don't know whether it would help. Copying address. And Mike is done with 500, so it's bad for both streams for some reason. Now at this point, none of them wins with 100 or 300, so it's all a fight for 600 pointer problem, and it's not too difficult. So likely we will see tourist winning because he started it much earlier. I will remove it completely and add again.
Off by 1 error, but in general
Seems to work. We'll see if it works for more than a minute.
And it's not like needed.
I'll fix it for Mike as well.
Just
Move it down. And I will in some way refresh Mike. Who do you think will win and why tourist? I already explained that, I believe. This and that. No luck with Mike. Radewoosh also streaming. He will stream the second semifinals. For now, you can read the last problem F in at Coder directly. Okay, we'll do it the hard way. I have no idea how this is possible, but I just opened Mike's stream and I will capture that window. Here we go. Sorry about the issues. I would say actually that the same happened with tourist now. That his screen froze, so I'm opening another window for the tourist and capturing that window. Now more than 5% of my CPU is used. Full screen. Window capture. The tourist. And done. Well, I managed to fix technical issues faster than they managed to solve the whole contest. So that's on the brighter side. You should write a bot to capture the screens now, otherwise you'll need to do this a lot. No, I changed the way to do it. Is Mike streaming? Yes, he is. But do I want to tell you his handle? I don't know, maybe it's private. Oh, also you don't see it, damn it. Sorry about that. I already fixed it for myself and I didn't show you. Now everything should be fine. Again, we have tourist on the left, Mike on the right. Both are doing 600 pointer, at least both should do it. And it's problem about going in a grid. Now it's good, cool, okay. About technical details and about this issue I can talk more later. Now let's do this. Right side of my screen. So in this problem, in problem F, you're given a grid where some cells are blocked. The total size of grid is at most 1 million, and you're given some variable k. Let's say that k is 2. It means that when you are in some cell, you can move in each direction by up to k cells, so by up to 2. If you go to the right, then you can finish here or there. K is at most million as well. So it's like limit for size of your jump. And you jump in one of 4 directions. And the problem is, given starting cell and ending cell, compute the distance between them. The input is what? Is height and width of the grid. It's k, and x1, y1, x2, y2. This will not fit on the screen. x2, y2. This is the input plus that grid of size h by w with forbidden cells. Do we see a submit? True. Tourist is debugging his code. If I didn't have technical issues, then I would have more time to follow that. He got time limit exceeded. Actually, there are at least 2 solutions that I know of. And one of them is to use sets. For every row and every column we can have... the goal will be to run BFS. Oh, this is not what I wanted to do. Right. One is to run BFS from the starting cell. How can we do it? I need to quickly say, if I'm here, to mark the next k cells to each direction as distance plus 1. Mike is submitting. Maybe he will actually win. Is that wrong answer? Yes, this is the wrong answer on 2 tests. That might be a corner case. Those tests are even marked as rand 20_02 and 03. Very nice. Yeah. Chat says go Mike. I think Tourist is generating a max test because we see some hard coding. So it's time limit exceeded on the left, wrong answer on the right. Okay, I will tell you about 2 solutions, and you can try to read from their codes which solution they went for. And one solution is to run BFS, and from a cell you want to say that each of next k cells you can go to, if they are not yet, of course, limited by some forbidden cell. So for every row and every column you have a sorted set for not computed yet cells. So for every row we'll have this set of cells for which now the distance is infinity, and you will ask with lower bound, starting from this position, going to the right, for the next cell to mark, to add to queue in BFS. That's the first solution, and maybe some implementation of it is too slow. And second solution is to go with Dijkstra. The second solution is Dijkstra, where when every cell has 4 directions, and now the current state is that you're in some cell and you are pointed to one of direction, let's say up, and from this cell you can go to that cell above, also up. But this has a very small cost. It has a cost, cost is 1/k. So after you make k such steps, only then your cost will reach 1. But also from this cell you can turn, and you can now be here looking to the left, and this has cost equal to 1. Cost equal to 1.
Not going well.
To turn, it costs 1. To move in the same direction, it costs 1/k. And this simulates the problem correctly at the end, with one exception. when you have some cost already, let's say it costed you, to get to this state, it costed you 3.6, and now you want to turn. Then it's not that your cost here will be 4.6. No, not that. It will be 5. It's rounded up when you turn, because it means you didn't use all those k steps up. You used only some of them, you decide not to go anymore, and you turn. So that's a full step of cost 1. Or you can maybe treat it as cost 0, but you round up anyway. That's another solution. I believe that both of them are size of the grid times logarithm. I don't know which one is slower. If we look now at code by tourist, I see a lot of vectors. Maybe he should test on like grid of size million by 1 or 1 by million, because then you have a lot of small vectors that has a big overhead. And we see BFS, but BFS would require, wouldn't it require sets? Maybe chat will tell me better. So, what's up, chat? Yegor is the only person with all wins so far. And I will read the chat because that's something smart. Yegor says, I know what is probably wrong with Mike's solution. It took me 20 minutes to fix the same bug. Huh. You can describe that in the chat. I think it's interesting. Can you make my code screen bigger? Can see his code? I can do it temporarily, sure. I mean, now it will not be very useful, because he's not looking at code. What I can do is I can move his screen up a little bit and then do this. I think this will be better. And I can as well cut some left part. Here we go. That should be better. Yegor is describing in the chat what's wrong. Basically, you can't stop going in some direction if you already done next cell in that direction. Sometimes you need to skip some already done cells. So while usually in BFS and Dijkstra we don't revisit cells, maybe it's good to keep going in the same direction. This is how I understood it. That's very cool. And also, what is cool is that there are 5 minutes left. The competition is 30 minutes. We chose that in rules. I don't know if I should in some way remind them about it. But it's 5 minutes left, and if it ends then Tourist wins with 600 points, unless Mike now quickly switches to 100 pointer, because the rules of a tie is that bigger score wins in case of a tie. I'm quite sure that I told them already. So now, of course, for sure now for them it's hard to remember such a thing. I remember participating in the Lockout a week ago against William. Mike should now realize, or at least like 2 minutes before the end, to quickly jump to A, solve it. It will take...
Good game! Good game.
Nice.
Good game.
Good game. Good game.
Wow, that was 4 minutes before the end.
Screwed up so much. Anyway, not taking anything from you. I screwed up.
Wait a second, guys. Chat, can you hear them both? Chat, please.
Good job as well.
Good job. Yep.
And I turned my microphone. Hangouts, do you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And chat hears you as well.
Yep.
Okay. We had only some technical issues during the stream.
Not all of them, you mean, right?
Yeah, it could be much worse. It could be much worse. I will hide this for a moment.
Yeah, like AdCoder not loading for half a minute for me.
We saw that. Yeah.
Not all of them, you mean?
Luckily, I have my second laptop here, and there it was okay.
Did I hear some echo? I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, we saw that it couldn't load. It's interesting. Maybe tourists quickly loaded problems and then did some DDoS or something.
No, I tend
That
to
was
have
my
these
plan.
problems with loading some JavaScript occasionally from Cloudflare, and I didn't get down to debug that yet.
Okay.
It's annoying a bit.
Yeah, that was my plan.
Okay, you both went for 600. Maybe first, before we talk about it, Mike, did you realize that it was so little time to the end of a competition, and you could jump to 100 pointer to solve it and win with that?
No, I did not. I just wanted to solve the 600.
Okay.
Actually, neither did I, but maybe I should have.
Yeah. It was. You finished like 4 minutes before the end.
Oh, I see.
I think it was said in the rules. I think I told you
Yeah.
that in case of
was.
a tie, greater problems. So 100 pointer, and it literally takes half a minute, I think, to solve. It's like one-liner. I don't know, maybe not, but something like that. But Mike didn't realize that and won. What was the bug, Mike? You corrected at the end.
Oh, so what I did was basically normal breadth first search.
Yep.
And then from each position, I just go up to k steps in each direction. Yep. And remember that I'd already went from a certain position in a certain direction. And so the issue is if I have point, say, 50,
yep.
And I go to the right, so in increasing order of the x coordinate, I will go all the way to 5 plus k. And so let's say that k is 20, so I will go from 50 to 25. And then following in the queue is something like 20, and I will immediately see, okay, I already went to 20 from the right, so I will just immediately break. But this is incorrect because I should go from 20 to 40. So what I did was just for each direction, I sorted all the points in the queue so that it doesn't matter.
Okay. If I understood this correctly, I made some drawing now on the stream that from that leftmost cell, we go and mark some white cells, and then all of them are visited in some way. But from this yellow cell in the middle, we should still consider starting from it because we can go further to the right. If that's wrong, then, well, that's unfortunate. I mean, if that's understanding is wrong. And yeah, Yegor said that he understands your mistake, and I would say that he described the same thing. Okay. Chat doesn't disagree. Gennady, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, in general, my strategy was, as you could see, I guess, to go for 200, 400, and then, as it was discussed in one of the lockout streams earlier, try to progress on both problems, on both 500 and 600, was like, as you could see, at the same time.
Give me a second.
So, like,
I now hear echo.
as it was discussed in one of
I need
the
to
lockout streams earlier, try to progress
locate
on both
it.
problems on both 500 and 600, like at the same time. So, like, yep.
Do you hear echo in Hangouts or not?
Okay. No.
I have like 30 tabs. Okay, that's fine as long as mute the stream. For me, the stream is muted. Okay, that's fine as long as chat doesn't hear echo. Okay, so please continue. Indeed, you had 600, and Mike had 500. Both of you needed to go for the last problem.
Yeah, I mean, after going for 200, 400, I tried to read both of them, both of 500, 600, and I did, and then I saw that 500 like is pretty easy. If I understood it correctly.
Yeah, I mean,
But 600, like the idea I had was not too good. And then
and I did, and then
I
I saw that 500 like is
I saw that like Mike was spending a lot of time not submitting anything.
600.
So I kind of like thought that maybe he actually went for 600. But that would be quite crazy. But anyway, I thought that maybe I should try to steal 500 before him.
So I kind of
Before he does it, and
he
then I tried to do 500. That was a bit slower, I guess.
Crazy, but anyway,
I finished my solution but did not test it.
500 before him.
Okay.
Maybe it's already correct. I should actually try it.
Then that's
And
Try to
unfortunate.
do 500.
Maybe
And then,
I
yeah.
What
was a
about
bit
this
slower,
strategy then?
yes.
You should read both 500 and 600 and try to do them
Maybe it's
simultaneously,
correct, I
I
should
mean
actually try.
parallelly, and then
Yeah, I
whatever Mike solves, then you are
then-
ahead with the other
yeah.
problem. What about
I was
that?
kind of trying to do that, but typing both problems at the same time is not. Well, maybe I should try that, but in general, actually my solution works on the sample. Let me try to
I was
submit
kind
my
of trying to do
500
that, but
solution. I'm just
typing both
wondering
problems at the same
because
time is not.
yeah.
Well, maybe
But
I should
anyway,
try that.
so the
but in
point is
general,
that
yeah, actually my solution.
I read both of them. Then I tried to steal the 500 because I thought it should be fast to implement. Yeah, my 500 actually passed
because
so I was less than a minute
So the point
late,
is
I
that,
guess, for that one.
Lucky
me then.
I read both
well,
of them. Then I tried
good
to
job.
steal the 500.
Why-
because I thought it
not-
should
not
be
luck,
fast
not
to
luck.
implement.
Well,
Yeah, my
that was a skill. You solved 600
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
faster.
I was-
It wasn't
then
some
the po-
kind of luck
the
and
point was
good
that-
permutation of problems.
Yeah, a bit.
well,
but and then the point, my point was that even
Not-
if
not
Mike
luck, not
finishes
luck.
500 faster than me,
Yeah, yeah.
I will
then the
like
po-
immediately
the
start
point
typing
was
600, and then like I have quite a head start.
Yeah,
so
a
that
bit
should be enough.
But
Like
and
that
then
was
the point, my
main
point was that
but
even if Mike
currently
finishes 500,
my idea was
faster
not
than
good
me,
enough.
I
So
sh- I
as
will
we
like
can
immediately
see,
start typing 600, and then like
uh,
I have
yeah.
quite a head start. So that should
Mm,
like that.
I had there was some killer test
Currently,
cases
my
named killer, and they
idea was
actually
not
killed
good
my
enough,
solution.
So
And it
as
got
you
time limit
can
exceeded because
see,
my approach was not like strictly
yeah.
n times m, I guess. It was some kind of queue, but then some elements could be put in the queue several times, so it's not too good in general, but
And you
it
also
could
got
be enough.
two wrong answers on the same
And
test
yeah,
that I
and
did.
actually I did get two wrong answers. So you explained the point why what it was, right?
Yeah. I think you
Okay.
probably had the same issue as I had.
But then like it didn't actually matter because like I'm not sure. Maybe if I just like remove all my vectors and then do like everything on arrays and stuff, maybe it could be enough to overcome time limit exceeding problems and then also fix the wrong answer. But after I got both wrong answers and time limit exceeded, I just tried to do something different from scratch. But actually, if I realized that I had just like several minutes before the end, maybe I should have just gone for like 300 to 100 and hope. Well, just 300 is enough, right?
Yeah, 300.
And
was
and
necessary.
then just hope that Mike is not in time to solve 600. But he was in time anyway, so it doesn't matter. So whatever.
Okay.
Good job. Yep.
Well, our underdog won. Congratulations again, Mike.
Yay!
You're moving to the finals.
I was cheering for you for the work, right?
Thank you.
Congratulations to Tourist for choosing a good person to cheer for.
Yeah. I
And,
won the bets, right? Even though I didn't bet anything.
we need to introduce some bets in the future. I think now a lot of people would, I wonder what would be the odds. One way to compute them is to use code versus rating or at code rating, because rating it corresponds to some formula for probability of winning, but this will not work for a lockout. It's such a different competition.
Plus the probability of me winning would probably be something like 10 to the minus 4.
Well,
I don't think
lockouts
so.
are a different story, right?
Yeah, they are.
I guess
They are.
if we actually calculated lockout rating out of all the streams, mine would not be the highest for sure.
Yeah, well, if we have enough such lockout competitions, then we can maintain some kind of rating just from them.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, thank you both for participating. Mike, we will see
Yep,
you
thank you.
again in
Thank you.
around 40 minutes. See you, tourist, I guess, in the chat.
Yeah, sure.
But if actually it's bad if you disconnect from Google Hangouts, because then my Windows will fail. This
Okay,
OBS thing
I
is
will
really
stay there,
built.
but I guess there's no actual point in staying, right? I mean, you're not going to include me in the discussion, right?
If you want to join as a commentator for the second semifinals, you are welcome.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, then I think we will do that. Let's have a short break and see you, chat, in at least several minutes.
See you.
transition, studio mode. Okay, I think Twitch sees that. Chat, please tell us if everything is fine. Okay, I think Twitch sees that. Chat, please tell us if everything is fine. I already hear Twitch sees that. Chat. So I'm resolving that. Okay. Which of 30 windows gives me sound? Found it. Okay. Okay, I know what happened. Interesting. I think it's like tourist or somebody raided me and that refreshed the page for me with sound. This is what happened.
Sorry about that.
Now, Yegor, Mateusz, say hi to the chat and we'll see if they hear you.
Hello,
everybody.
chat.
And chat, please tell us if everything is okay with sound. We see two screens. I will cut this one a little bit. Yegor, do you use some unusual resolution?
Not really. I just want to win.
But the right part is black? Or not?
Oh, you mean you mean resolution? Okay, this sense. Yes, I specifically left right part is black, so everything was to the left part. So you can easily fit it.
Yeah, that's convenient for me. Not necessary, but convenient. I will move it down. And what will be around hour? I think 25 will be a good start for us.
Okay.
Guys,
Sure. So 25 to 55, right?
yes, 25 to 55. And again, that might mean in the last minutes you should do something else. You both tested the leaderboard, right?
Sure.
What do you mean? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that you can mark color. I will later fix it a little bit because there is something ugly going on in the middle of results, but that's fine. Yegor, what's your strategy? Or what do you think is a reasonable strategy? Not necessarily will be yours.
I mean, it seems that the consensus is that there is two viable strategies. There is a go to 500 or 200 and 300, and then you like start from there and see if you can steal the other strategy. Like if you can steal, if you do 500 quickly, if you can steal some of 200 or 300. But otherwise, if both participants like can do their part and they have different strategies, it usually resolved on 600. Now with time limit, it would be a little bit different, but we'll see.
Okay. But if you go 200 and 400, also the other person might try to steal somebody out of those two exactly. Like if you do 200 and the other person did 400 first, that's very bad for you. Any counter to that? I mean, should it affect the way
you go to 500? Why you go to 500 and then that's a race for 500 first? So I don't think it changes a lot. Oh, we'll see.
Mateusz, any thoughts?
I think that I will just open suffix of problems and I will see which statement looks the shortest ones or the which really looks like I would take it like maybe some will scream to me that I should pick it because the code will be short.
Okay.
Like maybe I open 400, 500, and 600 and see which one shows some signs that it's good to read it.
Actually, yeah, it might be smartest instead of going for some fixed strategy to judge from statements, especially with problems like E and F. They are not for a minute of solving. They take like 5-15 minutes. So it might be smart to choose which one you want to solve. Might make sense. There is less than 2 minutes left, I believe. Yeah, 1 minute and 10 seconds. When the contest starts, exactly at 25 past, you can start, and I will mute myself again from Hangouts. Actually, that's harder with Gennady also commenting.
I think I will just mute the sound and I will just recommend
Okay.
players do the same.
Okay.
Our talk, but I won't mute myself, so maybe
Okay. You both should mute, by mute I mean turn off the sound in Hangouts. Yeah. Then
No, I just mute all the sound.
Okay, that's perfectly fine as well. And then I can talk with Tourist. It's 25 seconds left. Again, I'm on website time.is. That's quite convenient to see seconds. I see Mateusz opened it as well. Okay, 15 seconds. So good luck to both of you. You can already turn off the sound, I guess. Good luck.
GLHF.
3, 2, 1, 0. They are starting. Gennady, are you there?
Yep. Hi.
Okay, maybe I will in a moment add your face in, but right now we can see what they are doing. I think Mateusz is going with his strategy of opening suffix and already went for D.
Yeah. So I guess Igor should just go for 300 and 200, right?
300 and 200 sounds
Igor
safer.
goes for...
Yeah.
What? Oh, Igor's... Oh, it's just creating files
okay.
in background. Okay.
I think you also started with that in first seconds, right?
What do you mean?
You also started by creating files.
Oh. Kinda. Okay, Igor goes for 300. I expected that. Especially after Radewoosh said that he will go for suffix.
I'm muting them both because they're quite loud. You still hear me, right?
Yep, I can still hear you. And
chat asked why am I using 100 and 200 instead of 1, 2. Yeah, actually points in AdCoder, they also convey a meaning of difficulty. And they are consistent through the different competitions as well. So it's not that only the ratio matters.
yep. So some people say that Igor uses Java, but actually he does not. It does actually look like Java a lot, but
it's a class and public. Okay.
yeah, but quite some time ago you can see include in the first line, right? Definitely not Java.
Yeah.
But yeah, quite some time ago he actually switched to C++, sadly, and now like he still uses a lot of stuff which looks like Java, and he moved out his standard library to C++ as well. But in general, I feel a bit sad about like everyone using C++.
Petr also switched for important competitions, right?
Sorry?
Piotr also switched.
Yeah. Well, for some of them, yeah, he switched. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I actually go. I should go for rant right now. Maybe we should just discuss what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's a bigger topic.
Yep. That's definitely not suitable for Lockout, because if I just start it, maybe they will finish before I finish my rant.
Yep.
Anyway.
So you can comment a moment for what you're seeing on the screen, because I'm adding your face and then I will discuss some easy problems.
Yep. So I see that Radewoosh stream is fine,
lagging.
I guess. No, it's fine. It lagged for a slight one. So Igor goes for 300, right? And he finished it. And Radewoosh is doing 400. So I assume Igor will just go for 200. Yeah, he is going for 200. So that's the same thing he actually did against me in the finals last time. He solved 3 and 2, and then he will go for I guess 6 in general, because he expects Radewoosh to go for 5.
Is
So, yeah.
Would you say it's true that in AdCode or beginner contest, let's say, 600 is much more difficult than 500?
Yes,
The ratio of 6 to 5 is not fair?
I think so. I think just yeah, but like my opinion is that this is true, and the reason why this is true, I think, is because the way the problems are set, like these contests are set, it is usually like a lot of people just propose single problems, and then these problems are like the problems form some contests, but the thing is that some problems are harder than the expected level, but instead of just throwing them away, they are still used as the 6th problem. And then like what happens is that such problems are often too hard for 600, and definitely the average 600 is much harder than average 500. That's for sure true.
So basically they don't know what to do with such a 700 pointer.
Yeah, I think that they actually could use the idea of making the 600 harder sometimes. Like, no. Make the 600 worth more points.
Okay.
But I guess they like consistency more than that, and they just like doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because it's just nice, right?
Yes.
So, in the meantime, Igor solved 1, 2, and 3. That's totally correct.
I looked at problems from both the previous round and this one, and in both I would say that problems A through D can be solved in total in 5 minutes. Also standings from real contests reflect that. And then E and F are more difficult. And here E and F, I would say that E and F are harder to solve in this round than in the previous one.
Actually, Radewoosh did the same mistake I did, and he did not open Bingo Sync on his screen. And now he cannot see that Igor already solved 100. But anyway.
Okay.
So he wasted a bit of time, and now Igor is just a huge favorite. He's already typing the 500, and also he uses combinations.
That's what needed. Then I think I can talk about
that's
problem.
quite useful. I see. Yep. Just go ahead.
I will. Let's see how it will look like now that there is your face as well. Now, for a moment, your face has higher priority. It shouldn't be like that. Oh no, it's some topological problem now. And now Igor's face is marked as Mike. That's also not desired. Okay, what do I want to do? Your face goes above. This goes even higher. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Your face will be slightly visible as well. In problem E, the statement is extremely simple, and we saw it a moment ago on Mateusz's screen on the left.
Still see it.
Where easy version of a problem, and here I'm talking easier because I already know some part of a solution, so I'm cheating a little bit. But easier would be to count given n and m, and this is problem number E. Of course, number is not a proper name, but given n and m, count sequences of length n, actually pairs of sequences, because there is also b1 through bn as well, such that every number is from 1 to m. Obviously, it implies that for any reasonable test, n is smaller or equal m. Because also within a sequence there cannot be two equal numbers. For n equal to m, that would be just a number of permutations. We want to count such pairs of sequences, so within this sequence no two elements can be equal, but also a1 cannot be equal to b1, a2 cannot be equal to b2, and so on. And the problem should be first solved by solving without this requirement for ai different than bi, and then some particular technique must be added. I think Mateusz has some maybe technical issues because he's opening Hangouts. I'm not sure.
No, actually Igor just finished. That's why Mateusz opened his Hangouts. That's the reason.
Fine. Okay, I will unmute everybody in Hangouts because we don't hear him now.
turns out that if you have the modular int and combinations classes, then the solution is just 5 lines.
Okay, we need to tell them in some way that they need to unmute themselves after I muted them. What's the best way? Maybe they will open Messenger.
Just write in Hangout chat.
Okay, yeah, Hangouts chat is good. Can you
Hi
write to
again.
Hi, Igor.
Okay.
Good job. Congrats.
them?
Thank you.
Mateusz, if you hear us,
Good job. Congrats.
I have echo. Mateusz, we don't
see
hear
some
you
kind
yet.
of
Up. Oh, what a chaos. Mateusz, do you hear us?
If you do, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Oh, okay, guys, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, my fault.
So chat, please confirm that you are hearing everybody. And yeah, that was a much quicker match. Actually, I would say that E and F were both harder than in the previous contest, but Igor won thanks to
I
quick
sold
ABC.
both of them 2 weeks ago, and I like E in that in the first semifinal wasn't hard as to solve it, but you don't really want to code it. At least that's my opinion.
I agree with that. They were implementation heavy. Actually, okay, E in previous round was quite difficult because it required some implementation. Yeah, that's fair to say.
I mean that multi-set, then you need to remove correctly, then you need to check to remove that and that again.
Still easier than 600.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. And I haven't read 600 here, so I don't know anything about it.
Okay. Mateusz, thoughts?
I'm destroyed. I don't know what to say. I mean, that's... I don't know what's Igor's solution to E, but I thought that mine would take a bit longer, but he surprised me anyway. I mean, that's when I solved D and he solved BC, I wanted to go fast for A because it would allow me to focus only on F. But he solved A before me. So I knew that I had to solve both, so I went to the A01 because I thought that he would just be the A01, and he also solved it faster. So
Maybe that's why you should go for 100 first.
Yeah, actually, Mateusz, would you agree that you are extremely good with very easy problems?
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I thought that it would be better to aim at harder ones. And I don't know if I would say an easy problem about A, like it's just about writing.
A was print A plus A square plus A cubic. So
Yeah, so it's just about how fast you code. So I don't know if it's just...
So it's the speed of reading, coding, and submitting. I think each of those 3 steps takes around the same time, maybe 10 seconds each.
I don't know. I'm sure that Gennady would solve it faster than anybody else. Like,
I'm not sure about 100s because, like, no. I think that at this point, yeah, like Errichto said, the speed of submitting, reading, and implementing is about the same. But like for Igor, like submitting is like 1 second, I guess, because he just uses some kind of, I don't know what that was, but some kind of tool, and then
Command line tool, yes.
Yeah, command line tool. So if you have some command line tool, it definitely helps you to cut your time by third,
Okay.
right?
So I mean, for me, it seems it's past 40 seconds between me submitting B and me submitting A, and I also marked B in that time, so I have parsed the status of
Yeah.
B.
Maybe for the next time I should prepare some command line tool as well, because it's a bit tough.
Mateusz, do you still use our command line tool? The tool we used for ICPC.
No, I'm using something different.
Okay. Because I remember we had that because we wanted to hide the verdict. In ICPC finals, you don't see which test is failed. We wanted to emulate
Oh, you are
that.
saying about this tool. I thought that you are talking about the intermediate. No,
the
I'm
one,
not.
the one by Marek Sommer.
No, I'm not sure if it works on AdCoder. I don't think so.
Okay, that's right. It was tool for code forces, but I wouldn't be surprised if Marek included things for other platforms as well.
We can ask him to make it.
Yeah, we can ask him. Well, later, I guess. Well, Igor,
Also,
yeah, you wanted to say
one
something?
one more point about problem E that I wasn't actually sure. It was obvious that it's some kind of inclusion exclusion, but I wasn't sure that coefficient was just -1 to the power of I. So I got kind of lucky that it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually also in such problems I basically guess, and first I just try -1 to a power, then I think if something more is necessary. In our ICPC team, Mateusz was a guy responsible for inclusion exclusion.
Yeah, so I know how to do it, but again, Ego implemented it way faster.
I had
And-
combinations already at hand, so
Again, in this format, it's reasonable to try to guess the solution because you have no penalty for submitting. But actually, you do have some penalty. I actually,
But your penalty is time wasted, right?
yeah. Well, actually, even more than that, you can submit the same problem at most 2 times per minute, I guess.
Whoa.
And I actually got stuck in my semifinal. I submitted 2 times, 2 incorrect solutions. I fixed 2 bugs, and then I couldn't submit like for 11 seconds. Could be deciding.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Also, like I said last time on the stream, but anyway, I can repeat. In the one of the recent grand contests, I made like 2 submissions in the end. The same problem. I was trying to fix something, and then I tried to make the third submission. I had 20 seconds before the end, and I got a message: "Please wait 30 seconds before submitting."
That's
And-
unfortunate. I think it's worse in team competitions. I remember that Tourist also participated in one such Polish marathon where 3 people can participate. And I think in at least one such competition, there was a rule of 1 minute submission for the whole team, I believe. So you could lock out your teammate. Mateusz, can you confirm that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that, but I'm not sure where was it.
Which one was that? Yeah,
Like
I feel like
deadline, something like that? Marathon 24?
yeah. I mean, probably one
Maybe
of
it
those.
was the internet problem-solving contest. I'm not sure.
IPSC,
No,
maybe?
I don't think so.
Okay.
by
Yeah, probably some Polish one. Yeah, I think that something like that actually happened. Funny.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe
People are
somewhere.
saying, actually, Zniżej is saying deadline 24.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is he somehow
Yeah,
connected to it?
he's also from Poland, Warsaw, and he also participates in those contests. I think he was
Okay.
quite high yesterday in ICPC challenge on Code Forces.
Okay, cool.
He and Mateusz are very interested, I would say, in optimization problems. To the point of being a meme of liking optimization problems. Mateusz is confirming with a smile.
so Polish domination in this kind of Takoja marathons will continue.
Domination? I
Yeah,
think,
mean,
that's
I
like a-
kind of dominated.
yeah, but Mateusz forgot that it's that on that day, so it could be better. I think we can call it. We will have a final round in again several plus minutes. Congratulations, Igor, for winning, and
Thank you.
Radewoosh for still 400 points. Plus, then a hard problem would be close to a win. So it wasn't zero. It wasn't zero.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
yeah, we will. Thank you, both of you, for participating. Okay, we'll do the. We are turning off the stream, so say bye. I mean,
Bye.
See ya soon.
we will be back with Igor in a moment. Go. Studio mode. Hello, chat. Igor, Mike, say hi.
Hello.
Chat will confirm that everything is okay. Right now on the screen in the bottom we have quite a chaos because I will have two co-hosts, co-commentators with me. And this time we're doing a contest, AdCoder regular contest, with points different than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9. But still the sum is odd, divided by GCD is odd. So there shouldn't be a tie if they solved everything. I said it right. Why, Mike?
Yeah, they
why
Yeah.
for 1500 this
Okay.
time.
We start at full hour, so that's 45 seconds from now, and we fixed it to be 60 minutes. So full hour to full hour. I will, maybe somebody from the chat has some idea how I should rearrange the bottom of a screen. It would be too difficult now for me to make it into like so that you would see our faces one after another. That won't happen. 15 seconds. Good luck, Igor, Mike. Let the best one win. Mike,
luck.
we still believe in you.
GLHF.
Always believe in you.
And yeah, you should, I guess, turn off. You two should turn off the sound for yourself. Good luck. Start.
Okay, I guess we started.
Yes. And maybe because some people for sure just joined the stream, I will make a quick summary of what happened and what you see right now on the screen. This is a lockout competition. Right now, a final of 4-person tournament. On the left, we see Igor, Yegor, and on the right, it's Mike. They have 6 problems, and whoever solves a programming problem first, they get points for that. You can see scores above my head. At the end, whoever gets more points wins. So if you compute the sum of all the points and divide by 2, if you have more than that, you win automatically. If not, there is 1 hour time. After 1 hour, it's the end. And I will turn off the sound because I hear too much clicking. I mean, I will mute them. Mute Mike. And mute Igor. Done. And on the bottom, yeah, you see Igor. Then on the left from me, there's Tourist above and Radewoosh below. There's me, Errichto, and Mike on the right. Actually, there is right. Yeah, that's it. Tourist, Radewoosh, what can you say about the problems already?
We're still reading them. But yeah, they seem nice and much harder than the previous. So we'll see more things happening and possibly more lockouts.
Yeah, a bit like quite a bit harder for sure. And
yeah.
so we have 1 hour time limit, right?
Yes,
Because
we do.
I think that it might definitely be relevant, and then it might be important. Assuming that all the problems get solved, we have 17,000 total cost for the last 2 problems. So you need to solve at least one of them. And then problem E was solved by 125 participants, and problem F was solved by like 25 participants. So even though the difference is 100 points, it could be true that E is actually easier, quite a lot. And then in this case, E is the decisive problem. But anyway, if they don't manage to solve all the problems, then it could be different. Actually, it would be fun at least to see the strategy of switching to a different problem in the end.
Yeah, I hoped to see that at the end of the first semi-final, but I also guess that you two would not remember about that because it's such a short contest and it wasn't stressed about that there is such a rule of 30
exactly.
minutes.
So hopefully now that we discussed it in the first semi-final, we can actually figure it out. But anyway, I think that actually maybe the best strategy is going from the easiest problems. When the problems are that hard, maybe just solve 100, solve 200, and then just gain some advantage, and then just go.
Yeah,
there.
but you should remember that they can lock you. Like if you went for A or B and somebody solved it and you...
Again, like problem A is like 40 seconds, right? And then just getting 100 points in 40 seconds is not too bad.
But is it always 40 seconds in regular contest on Coder?
I think that 100 is almost always, it's still very easy. Like,
by the way, I interrupt you. Egor solved B.
Or solved B, yeah, B is another try.
Yeah, B is like a standard problem with...
He didn't mark it in bingo?
Yeah, he marked it.
Okay, then something's wrong on my side, maybe?
Did he? Let's see.
I don't see it on my side. Do you guys?
Like on the stream?
Yeah.
In bingo sync, I see the 200 mark.
Okay, then...
on the stream, I also don't...
On stream, it is not marked.
Okay, I will refresh on my side.
Okay.
It helped.
Also, Camille, you are not in the bingo. Maybe you are in some other bingo.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Refreshing helped.
We open... Okay.
But I need to change the font, and this happens by me clicking F12 and then modifying something. Here you go. Okay. Also, I will refresh Igor's stream because it keeps
it's
loading.
lagging now. Anyway, so Mike goes for problem C, and he has already typed like 40 lines of code. Perhaps he will finish soon. Okay, he's submitting. And actually he also has some pretty good template, it seems.
For like modulo operations, stuff like that?
Well, first, like, so actually he typed 40 lines and then he submitted 100 lines. And also, yeah, he has some kind of cout of an array, I assume, which I don't have, for example. So he just couts the square matrix and that's it. That could be useful.
Do you think getting used to something like that can hurt you?
That's a difficult question. I don't know. I actually tried to keep my like the part that I use and like the part I'm addicted to as small as possible. My general template is like just 5 lines, just include using namespace std, and that's kind of it. So I'm not sure if it is important.
Mateusz, your thoughts on like 100 lines of templates? Do you use actually some kind of FOR, like uppercase templates or something like that?
I don't. I thought about making something like modular arithmetics, but I'm not using it. And on normal contest, it's not hurting so much because I know the contest is longer. You're spending more time on everything, but here on Lockout, it seems to be very useful.
Yeah, when you fight for every minute.
Yeah.
Minute. I mean second for sure. Anyway, Mike solved this 400 problem.
400?
Yeah, the third one.
Oh, C is 400, yeah.
Yep.
Again, I will refresh the bingo for me.
Yeah.
And change the font size. Fortunately, it will happen at most, 3 more times?
Also change the colors, the color, right?
Yeah.
Because he's green.
We talked, the stream was stopped at that moment, but we talked for a moment whether it's allowed to take a color different than red and blue, in particular maybe black, so that your opponent wouldn't see what you're solving. I think that's impossible in
I
website.
think Bingo Sync only allows some subset of colors.
Yeah.
Without black.
And maybe that's good. So Mike chose green and I'm changing to that one. I don't know if I have a similar green. Oh, close enough. Maybe I will choose something lighter. Okay, Mike is solving F. Did
Actually,
anybody
it seems-
here read it? Is it hard?
F, you mean the 900 problem?
Yes, this Cosmos I see on the right.
Okay. Yeah, I've read it, and it's for sure the hardest problem on the contest. It was solved only by
Wow,
29 people.
actually, excuse me, I'm just a bit amazed because it seems that Igor didn't realize that Mike actually solved this problem C, and now he's typing it.
But maybe he's confused by scores, like he saw.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
seeing
he sees the
400.
400. Okay, now he switched, but he started typing it, and like for quite some time he had like the bingo sync with the problem C marked, and he was reading problem C, so he did not see it.
And to our viewers on the left, this whole thing I will move now, if I manage. This is Igor's screen. In particular, on the screen he sees the bingo card that we use to mark problems that are solved, and he sees that second and third problem are solved by red player and green, and maybe he didn't realize that, even though it was on his screen. Okay,
Yeah,
and
now-
Mike
see that
switched from
we only
F to
have-
D.
Yeah, probably F is too hard. I mean, anyway. So we can now see that bingo sync only allows orange, red, blue, green, and purple. No black.
I think there are twice that many colors if you unroll the colors there.
Oh yeah, but there's still no black color. But
Oh
we
yeah,
can
there's also
use
maybe
it.
teal, brown, pink, and yellow. Okay.
What
I think
I
it would
could,
be nice if next time we all come in different colored t-shirts and always pick our colors.
yeah, you have dark blue on you, or it's black?
No, mine is black. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
Mateusz
making-
is gray, or not?
Like green maybe.
I don't
I
see
think-
it, but maybe it's about camera. Yeah,
Yeah.
Igor and Mike, they are quite
Let's see that. Like,
distinguishable. Errichto, green square near Mike's side. There is somebody with OCD and some need for symmetricity in the chat. Okay, I will put a green rectangle as well. Okay, F. I think at least one of you maybe looked at the standings. F is solvable in like 20 minutes by people from the top.
It was
Yeah.
28 for the first submission, but then it's hard to say because some people waste time on different problems before, right? So maybe 20, yeah. Well, actually, the winner solved F in like 14 minutes.
Yeah, I want to say that F at the first moment F looks scary, but it's possible that we've already seen something similar, and it might make you think that it might be easier for you because you've already seen similar tasks and you know maybe some what tricks you should use. But anyway, I think that this problem.
I stopped hearing Mateusz.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I hope that it's just on Mateusz's side. Yeah, I would say so, because I see everybody else moving. So
Yeah.
Mateusz, if you hear me, your internet went off for seconds.
Okay, so are we
Yeah.
together again?
Yeah, we hear you now. You can repeat the last half a minute.
Okay, so F looks very hard at the first moment, but if you've seen similar problems, then you might think that you should know the way, that you should go to the solution. But anyway, I think that it's hard to solve it, to connect the formulas and to actually have working code. And I'm curious at which stage did Mike stop. I mean that if he just had no idea how to solve this problem, or was just scared because he knew how this problem can be hard.
Do you know enough about one problem to maybe describe the whole thing, either to restore Radewoosh?
We can in a moment.
Okay.
But you mean describing solution or just a problem?
Just the problem, especially if something has a short statement. I didn't look at even a single problem because I also knew that it would require asking everybody which AdCoder regular contests they already solved, and I didn't know who would advance to the finals.
Actually, Igor is now solving problem E, even though he's doing that in class named problem D. And this is an interactive problem, and the statement is very short.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell it. We have an even number of balls. We have 2n number of balls. We have 2n balls.
Yep.
N of them are red and n of them are blue. And n is an odd number. And we can ask questions. A question is pick any n balls and ask if there are more red balls in these n balls or there are more blue balls in these balls. And you have to guess the color of every ball.
So you ask about a set?
Yeah, you pick any n out of 2n balls.
Okay.
And you ask about these n balls. And you get the answer like which color dominates in these n balls.
Okay, I will try to draw it. Okay, we have n blue and n green,
Red?
right?
Yes. Red, yeah. It would be nice to have green and red.
Let's go with green. And for us, they are numbered from 1 to 2n,
Yes.
but we
Right.
don't know which color is where.
Yes.
And what we do is we make a query about some subset, and we get to know what?
We get to know if there are more blue balls than red balls or vice versa in this subset.
Yeah, and your subset must be exactly the size of the half of the total number.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And thanks to
exactly,
the
n.
fact that n is odd, there always that set we ask about is of odd size.
Correct.
Yeah.
And how many queries we can ask?
So you have...
any-
Yes.
N is up to 99, and you can ask at most 210 queries.
210.
210.
Yeah, so
So-
I think that's most of people will already think about something like 2n plus some logarithm.
Yeah, sounds like 2n plus a constant or maybe log of n,
Yeah.
but barely log of n. Log of n, not 2 log of n even.
We can also see that Mike actually implemented something very short for problem D and submitted it. He got wrong
And
answer,
from cancer, okay.
but
Yeah.
it's
His
only
code is
4
shorter
test
than
cases
six.
out of like 20 something. So it may be close to actually the solution, but I don't actually see why.
And we have a green of 500.
Oh,
Mike has a
Oh.
moment of celebration. Instead of
Okay.
opening the next problem, maybe he's considering which problem to solve next.
Okay, so he fixed something, and yeah, the solution is still one line. Like, yeah, cool. Okay.
Igor doesn't. Well, the screens we see are sometime behind. So I wonder when Igor will see that D is solved already. Because Igor is solving D, or you said.
No, he's solving E.
Oh,
He's
even-
doing it in the
Okay.
D problem class, but
Okay.
it's obviously the interactive problem because he's printing some question marks.
So even though Mike is ahead right now, because Igor has a time advantage on E, if they both now solve E, then actually Igor will be.
Yeah,
In
and the
better
problem for
situation.
Mike is that if Igor solved 800, even 100 is not enough for Mike because it will be a tie in this case. They will both have 1,000 points.
Mhm.
And as we discussed, by the rules, which we don't have written down anywhere, but we discussed it, the one who solved a harder problem wins in this case.
Yes.
So Igor will win because of the solving the 800. So that's a bit tough. So
Yeah.
100 point is not useful for Mike, in fact.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, so Igor is in a similar situation than that I was in a previous game, because Igor has to solve both 800 and 900, and he has to kind of guess if Mike would attack E or F, and also Mike should guess it about Igor. And Igor should try to do the problem that Mike is solving to make it faster than him, and Mike should attack the problem that Igor wants.
Or Mike can simultaneously think about two different problems. That's also viable.
Yeah, I mean, he can use this knowledge in choosing which problem should he try. Or just wait to see the red's mark, and then
the point is, it seems that Igor is quite close to solving E because he spent quite a lot of time on it, and Mike is actually reading F. I think he read E, but now he's reading F.
Mike had E
correct.
open for like 2 minutes, so he's doing a smart thing. He should solve two problems and not be far behind when Igor submits something in a moment.
I think the strategy-wise, it's reasonable to just go for F for Mike, because it's quite probable that Igor is doing E. I mean, it's a risk, but...
Yes. Also, what do you think about this? Igor should be very careful about submitting incorrectly, because that gives Mike knowledge about what Igor is doing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Also, with interactive problem, it's quite hard to test it. So Igor will be tempted to submit it, for sure.
What about this? Because in interactive, it's very easy to get wrong answer on test 1. So if I was him and I was very calm and behaving optimal, he should submit both problems.
Yeah.
Maybe even now he should submit F.
First F and then E.
Yeah.
And Mike start implementing F probably.
I will make the screen bigger.
Okay, so he includes some modular arithmetic, so it's probably F.
Yeah.
I think we can talk for a moment maybe about E, about its solution.
Yeah.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, I think I kind of know the solution to E.
Yeah.
So
I've written, so I can check you.
Sorry?
I've written the tutorial, so I can check you can try.
Okay, so tourist talks, I draw, Mateusz checks correctness.
Okay, so we are talking about problem E, right? So
yes,
majority of balls.
About balls.
I don't know. I know about E. Okay, so just talking about E, so we had 2 N balls, and we want to find the color of each ball, right? Yeah, so we have it on stream now. 210 queries is quite suggestive about 2n plus log n queries. And so 2n is the number of balls. And given that in each query we get just 1 bit of information, and we kind of have to output 2n bits of information, we are quite tight on this, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't have too much.
We need to aim for exactly that.
Yeah, kind of. Well, yeah. So I think that the solution is to find a subset of balls which has exactly 1, like the difference between the number of red balls and blue balls is exactly 1.
Okay. So
red,
single change.
Blue and green. Okay.
Yeah.
So we want the difference to be exactly 1.
Because
so
then after you modify something, you will have a
so
different
if you know the 1 ball of the most frequent color. So for example, in this case, you have 6 blue balls and 5 green balls, right?
Is that so? How I can recolor? Is just
I have on the stream now. Right now, I see 6 blue and 5 green.
Now.
So if you know any blue, you're changing it, and then I'm not sure if I see the actual picture. Sorry.
The stream is like 20 seconds behind.
Yeah, I understand.
You are correct.
So right now you have 10 balls. No, I mean
yes.
Right now on screen you have, but it should be odd. It should be odd.
No, only the half of the number of balls.
I will change green to...
I want n balls. Okay. Sorry. I mean, you have 5 and 5, and then you have a subset. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have... Yeah, okay. So we know a subset which has 3 blue balls and 2 green balls.
Exactly.
And suppose we also know 1 blue ball in this set.
Okay.
I think I should interrupt you for a moment. Igor solved problem E.
Yes. So now it's decided problem F.
Yeah, and here, of course, Mike is
Mike
faster.
has quite some head start, but we'll see what will happen. But anyway, it's very close. In the straw poll we had before the contest, we had 25 votes for Igor and 10 votes for Mike. So it's definitely much more close.
But chat is basically saying go Mike, go Mike. So I think people.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it doesn't match. Like the chat does not match the poll.
But the poll, I think, asks who do you think will win versus chat says who do they hope for the win.
Okay, so let me finish the solution.
For Igor in the pool.
Okay, we have a set with.
So suppose we know a blue ball.
Yep, and
now we can figure out the color of every ball, of every other ball, right? Of every ball not in the set, we can figure out its color, just removing the blue ball and adding some other ball from not from this set, right?
Yeah, because
so we just have to know a set of n-1 balls, such that half of them is green and half of them is blue. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So for this set, I now marked white. We know that there are 2 green, 2 blue, and for any different ball, if we now add it to this white set, we will get a different answer depending on the color on that new ball, and we can decide about all the other balls, except for this exact set right now.
Yes, but then we know the colors of all the remaining balls of the n balls not in this set, and in this set we have like 2 blue and 3 green, like vice versa, right? And then we can do the same thing to learn the colors of the initial set.
Oh yeah, okay.
So the question now is how we find a set with the properties I mentioned. And I think the solution is as follows. So consider all possible substrings of length n in these balls.
Oh, and continuity. Okay, continue.
Yeah, continuity. I will continue. So the thing is, so for each subset, if we know the dominating color, first thing to know is that we cannot have the same color dominating in every subset. We will for sure have at least one subset where a different color dominates. That's one thing to know. Then I guess that should be proven somehow, but looks pretty true. And then another thing is, we can do some kind of, okay. It's obvious how to prove it. So the first n balls and the last n balls have different dominating colors, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's
okay. And now you can do some kind of binary search to find 2 neighboring substrings which have different dominating colors.
Yeah, accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
But the function is not monotonous. It's not like we have only blue dominating and then only green dominating, but still, if you have blue on the left and green on the right, and we want to find some place where we have blue and then green next to each other, we can still do binary search and find such a place. And when we have such a place, we can get the required subset, and also we know one ball, the color of one ball.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
I will reiterate on exactly the same, but it's quite common to use the continuity. So there are the first phase of an algorithm is that we have those 2 n balls in a row, and we ask first, I hope that it's 10, I think it's not, assume that it's 10. We ask about first 5, so first half of them, and we get some information. But let's say we get the full information of the difference between the number of red and the number of blue, and let's say that this is +2. Then we ask about the next substring, and it can differ only by what? By 1, by 2, something like that. By 2, it's odd. Let's say what we get is the number of red balls. There is just something about parity here because everything changes by 2. Never mind. Okay, let's say this is +4, so it means the number of red is bigger by 4, and this is impossible because of parity, so it's this. Somebody can confirm that this is possible. Because let's say here there were 3 blue and 2 red, so +1, and here there's even more red than blue. The point is, if we can if we keep asking about such a substring, for sure eventually it will switch, because if we ask at the last substring, this one, the difference must be the negative of this, the opposite. The total number of red and blue is the same. So if by 1 was bigger the number of red balls here than blue, and here it's opposite. So it's -1. And it's a general thing that if there is a graph, let's say like that, there's any graph, and you start somewhere on positive and you end in negative, even if it's not monotonic, but you know that you end in negative, you can binary search the intersection with O axis. How to do it? We ask about any middle point. We know that first we are positive, at the end negative. And now if this is positive as well, and the end is negative, then we know that we can binary search in the right half. Always we go to such a half that the beginning and the end, they have different signs. One is positive, the other is negative. And this way you will eventually find one of intersections. This way you could also binary search any solution for an equation, like a cubic polynomial of third degree. If you know that it's -infinity on the left, then +infinity, you can use this method to search one solution to this, one of roots of that polynomial. And then the second part is as described, where if you have some set where you know that switching this ball to some other ball would change the verdict, you can put it away, then you have equal number of red and blue, or green and blue, whatever, and by adding any other ball, you basically query about the color of that ball. I think even if there are questions, you can refer to the editorial, because likely it describes something similar, I would guess. I will hide this, and we can get back to commenting what happens on our screens, and the face made by Mike, I think he's not happy with his process of solving a problem.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out some formulas, and same goes for Igor. So, Mateusz, do you have any ideas about problem F?
I'm sure that they're at least mine, because I think that Igor's code is a bit small. Mike is heading a good way, like he's trying to do. He at the beginning calculated a GCD of all three numbers in the input. Or maybe I should tell about the statement, because
yeah, maybe we can. Oh, actually, okay, no, yeah.
Okay, so maybe I tell you the statement. Kamil, ready with drawings?
Not yet, because I'm giving chat some links.
Okay.
And okay, I will prepare a drawing board, and again I will cover screens of guys for some time, sorry about that, and go. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so in the problem you are given a grid, or it's just described, because it can have the dimensions of size even 1 billion. Okay, and you are given some parameter t, but let's leave it for a moment. Okay, so in each cell, and also this grid is cyclic, so if you go away from the grid to the right, then you end up being on the left.
It's called a torus. I don't know if that's an English word. Torus?
Okay. I also don't know if it's in English.
I think torus is fine.
And I hear Facebook messages from one of you. You can mute Facebook.
And each cell of the grid contains one robot. And let's say that this robot can be on 3 types. It's type down, type right, and type stay in the place.
Can you repeat the types?
type down, type right, and type not doing anything.
Okay.
So if the robot is of type down, then in each turn, because they are turns, in each turn the robot moves moves to the cell to the down.
Okay.
If robot is each of the type right, then each in second it moves to the right by one cell, and if robot is of type nothing, then it just stays in the place. And so the robots move. For example, it's clear that after the LCM of after lowest common multiple of n and m, the robots will return to their starting positions.
Wait
but
a
we are
second.
given this.
Wait a second, I will just say one more sentence here. For example, if height is 10, then everybody going down has a cycle of size 10. Same for width. 15 means cycle of size 15. Then if you compute LCM, lowest common multiple of that, so 30 here, then you have one huge cycle where everybody gets to the initial place. Okay, continue.
Okay, and you are given some integer t, and let's say that the board is good. If at each moment, let's say that the board is good after x turns if each cell contains exactly one robot. So after 0 turns, it's okay. Then after this low and common multiple, it's okay. But we are given this integer t, and we want it to be okay after each multiple of t turns. Okay.
Okay.
So then this configuration of robots is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to calculate the number of configurations which are good. They are 3 to the power of the number of cells in the grid configurations, and we have to calculate how many of them will lead to the board to be good after 0, t, 2t, 3t.
Okay. So initially every cell contains exactly one robot.
Yeah.
And it's just about choosing its type, and we want that after every t turns something happens. Okay.
Yeah, and know that after t turns, the types of the robots in positions might be different, even if the board is good, because like some robot could come from the up to the bottom cell, but we are only interested if each cell contains exactly one robot.
Okay.
It's worth noting that both Igor and Mike have a submission on problem F, and both are on answer.
That's interesting. Do you know what kind of wrong solution they have?
It seems that the sample test cases are pretty weak, and the greatest common divisor is just 1.
Okay.
Oh.
In the second one, so I guess like maybe it's correct for some cases, but I guess the greatest common divisor makes it a bit more spicy. I'm not sure about the solution yet anyway, so maybe.
I will say something trivial, kind of a sanity check. Well, but some brute force we can do is that if you compute LCM of height and width, so that's that huge cycle size, then it's enough to check that after t, 2t, and so on, and you can go up to that LCM, or actually up to LCM of that and t, I believe. So if
probably.
Let's say that LCM of H and W.
HW and T, right?
Yeah. Something went wrong with my OneNote. Okay, so let's say that this is 10. Then if we check what happens after 4, 8, 12, 16 and 20 turns, you don't need to continue anymore, because you know that after 20 is anyway a cycle. So here 20 is computed as LCM of H, W and T, and that's brute force for you. But we need to do it better. How much time is left? The chat asks. They're writing till the full hour, so that's 23 minutes left.
Yeah. Do our rules say what happens if they end with a perfect tie after 60 minutes?
The harder
Like if
problem.
my...
So
excuse me?
Igor then wins because it's hardest problem you solved.
Okay. Yeah.
So we score by first the sum of points and then the maximum of your points out of all problems. So Mike is now in a worse situation, but I would say still most likely at least one of them will solve a problem. So then
Yeah.
it doesn't matter that Igor is the one in a better situation now.
Yeah, both of them are not really coding much and spending most time with the pen and paper. You can just look at the Igor.
How much do you think it would take to implement a brute force here?
I don't think there's any point in that.
Yeah, I mean that to have that brute force which will show you something, it would have to deal with really big.
I mean, yeah, the best you can do with brute force is solve grids 3x4, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to use.
Okay, so it would only give you a smallest possible test where your solution is wrong, but you will not understand much why your solution is wrong still. Okay.
Yeah.
No, maybe it even won't find the test because, for example, if you want to run it with a board 6x6, because I don't know, because both number are have different primes in factorization. I don't know. I'm not sure how to solve the problem. Then you won't run it because they are 3 to the power of number of cells configuration. So
Okay.
it's hard to write the brute
That's
force.
fair. Let's think about some some observations, guys. I think none of us knows how to solve a problem, so let's try to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm. I think that one observation could be that. So consider a cell.
Sorry, good game.
Whoa,
Okay, good
game.
whoa.
Maybe you should talk about the solution.
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah.
Well, good game. Congratulations. Our
Congratulations.
our tourist of lockouts.
Yeah.
First of all, I really hate 500. It's just I hate such problems.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, I tried to go for the practice of 200, 500, 800, and 500 really blew up on me.
Okay.
Was
I think that-
800.
oh, is it true that you were trying to solve the 400 for quite some time after Mike solved it?
No. I think I switched right away.
Okay, I think on stream it was a couple of minutes at least, but anyway.
Stream delay plus some delay of.
Okay, maybe.
So you want to hear a solution for 900 or what?
Yeah, maybe at least.
Yeah, we
So
just solved the statement. So
Basically, yes. If T and H have some kind of common divisor, then we actually just divide board into like slices. Every say GCD is G, then every G is row. They're completely like independent from each other, such parts. Same with columns, yes. So now we can assume that T is actually one, right? After that, we have some configurations where we have some rows that go to the right, and nothing else happens. Some configurations where we have some columns go down and nothing else happens, and some configurations where we have some diagonals go by one. All the diagonals go by one, but each diagonal can choose either it go by one to the right or by one down.
Okay.
And that's actually all the possible configurations.
So when you started by saying you do something for GCD, wait, so do you change both dimensions to G, this GCD, so you get a square?
No, I divide
by G.
H
Okay.
by GCD of T and H, and W by
Okay.
by GCD of
Okay.
W and T.
Fine. And then T basically becomes 1 this way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand some of this. I understood the diagonals thing, so I will even draw it. And you can talk more about your feelings from the contest. I think strategy was quite obvious at each point, starting from like 5 minutes into the contest. Or not?
Yeah, I wasn't. I hadn't tried to hide my strategy, but that 500, I really hated it. Sorry.
Mike, what do you think about 500 pointer?
I think it's really nice, actually. I had off by 1 there, but other than that, I was looking at it for, I don't know, good 5 or 10 minutes, having no idea how would I approach this, and then suddenly, yeah, you just, it's casting out knights only.
Yeah, I think that actually the problem looked nasty when I read it, but the solution is very nice, I think.
Yeah.
Well, probably I hadn't got through the initial feeling.
Yeah. Just the
Anyway,
first impression.
I quite enjoyed both E and F. If you want, I can like explain my solution for E if you hadn't done that already.
Oh, we did it.
We discussed the solution for E. I will have a question about the diagonal thing. Do you agree that if H and W, if they are coprime, then diagonal means the whole grid?
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
Camille, I see on the screen that it's not that diagonal. It's that, like, it should be anti-diagonal maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Oh,
Well,
because
the whole thing is symmetric, so it
okay,
doesn't
I
really
thought
matter.
that it's down.
Just say that we have right and up, right?
Yeah.
So it's,
yes.
Okay.
we have right
yes.
and up.
So when this is a diagonal, I mean, if you from a cell can jump down and right at the same time, then this is a diagonal of such a torus. And now for every such cell, if I switch it from going right to going, I mean, I need to switch all of them, right? For the same thing to happen.
Let me open the stream so I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I think that it shows that at least it's clear if T is equal to 1. It's something harder maybe it happens when it's
We assume now that T is equal to 1 for simplicity, and then changing all those red arrows into now yellow arrows up changed nothing, because the set of new cells is the same, and we decide about such a thing 2 ways for every diagonal. And so that's the main idea.
And we subtract 2 because we already kind of counted everything goes to the right and everything goes to the up.
Yeah, so here the samples gave me the wrong intuition of there being a checkerboard pattern simply.
Yes.
And that led me down to rabbit hole where there are no points.
In all the samples, maximum G was 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else here? 100 pointer became useless after some time. And you finished 17 minutes, 20 minutes before the end. So time wasn't an issue, the 60 minutes limitation. Actually, 45 minutes would be barely enough.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe
I have country comfort of minute and tiebreakers in case not one of us will get 100.
And
Yeah, that's true.
Radewoosh has a point as well, that even though the time wouldn't directly matter, it could matter because it could make you feel stressed while you are relaxed that there is so much time left. Actually, The fact that there's more time left helped Mike more because he needed that problem to win because of a tiebreaker.
Even if Mike would solve 100, he will still only catch me on points and listen to tiebreaker.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, when I looked at it initially, I didn't have the idea. So I figured let's do the 500 and then hope. That was basically my strategy.
By the way, have you spent any time on E, or you get to F right away?
Not really. I just read the statement and figured that's interactive. Not really.
So you don't like interactive problems?
Not at all. They are really awkward to debug.
That's
I really like more the setup where you have just some samples and you test and you see immediately whether it's correct or not. Which wasn't the case for C, right?
Thankfully for me, mine E worked from the first run, so
That's
that
just
helps
lucky.
in debugging.
That's how you win. That's how you win.
Somebody in the chat says, show the code, please. I believe AdCoder has public codes, so you can go to
So
recent
in the
submissions
submission.
for those problems, and you will find them both.
I would recommend to scroll about bottom 10% of my submission to see the actual code.
If somebody wants to read problems E and F like from such a competition, they should already know that there are such a thing as templates.
It's not a template, it's more like...
So you don't have any message in the beginning of your code that says the actual code is at the bottom?
Sorry, no, I just have a method
You used
for
to have it.
generate-
You used to have it.
It's in Java.
Yeah. But maybe if you can put it in C++ as well.
I
Just
need
to be nice
change,
to those who want to challenge you.
I think, the actual... okay, I think I'll do it, but I probably would need to update ghelper to do that, because generation is kind of weird. Yeah.
Anybody, some final thoughts on the tournament? What should we change next time?
I think it was nice, actually.
Of course.
It was nice, it was fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
I enjoyed it too.
It would be nice to implement something which really
Yeah,
checks.
I enjoyed it a lot. I think it was a great tournament. From the
It would
start
be nice to
till
implement
the
something
end.
which really checks the standings in that color. Maybe somebody from community programming community can do it.
Like an AdCoder submission output parser, where we would know who is first.
Yes, not like not having to click on the scoreboard would definitely help. So if some kind of
Well, it's a bit fun anyway.
It was actually part of the rules here that you shouldn't just solve a problem and already read the next one. It's up to you to wait for it. But yeah, it would be more convenient not have to do it.
Oh, it's also something that you can do it for us.
Yes.
But I don't think it was a major nuisance.
But you know,
no,
that's, that's very dangerous if I don't do it, for example, because I fix some technical issues with a string. Of course, it isn't an issue anymore if there are more people who handle this whole string.
Oh, Kamil, I wanted to tell you that you have a beautiful background.
What background? Beautiful, you want to say?
Yeah. In the first moment, I thought that it's made with us some special effect, but then you were rolling the dice, and we saw that it's just poster behind.
Thank you. It's my kind of green screen.
I think that the final was pretty nice. I would actually enjoy more problems of the difficulty level of the finals than the beginner contests. Beginner contests are kind of imbalanced. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think in such a 4-person tournament, semi-finals also should be ARC as well?
well, maybe it's sustainable to have 2 ABCs and then ARC, given that there are much more ABCs.
You need a bit
Like-
more time to run the regular contest, right?
Yeah, also you can do it like faster semifinals and then a final, a slower one. Then maybe it's fine. Yeah, maybe it's reasonable. So at least in the finals, I think that we should have something harder. And I think this went really well today.
And answering to the chat with some suggestions, like commentators knowing problems in advance, window placement of coders. I will not now comment on everything here, but for sure I will read all of that and consider that next time. If you have thoughts after the stream, you can comment on Codeforce's blog about this. Any suggestions you have, what we should do differently, put it there. Then for sure it will be addressed in some way.
Somebody
Yeah,
asked
put a
about
link
the
to Codeforce's blog, I think.
Link to Codeforce's, yeah, I will put it here
No,
as well.
somebody asked about making a league, like just
What's
make
that?
a tournament or something like this. Have you thought about it?
What's the league format?
I don't know, like maybe a tournament.
It's usually like you have several matches, probably round robins that goes.
Or
like,
you can go Swiss tournament.
but usually like it's not some fixed time where everyone competes, but rather one match at a time. And we will run out of ABCs quite quickly with such a format.
Well, we can make it more automatic like this. Some time ago, somebody on Codeforces made a blog about making an automatic tool to run lockouts.
There is already an automatic tool using Codeforces problems. There is a Discord bot for that. It's very bad quality because it uses random problems, including very old ones with long statements, bad quality of problems. But I think I would not quickly run out of ABCs if we use them in parallel. Like if there are, let's say, 20 people in that league, then 10 pair of people can use the same ABC. So it's not that bad. You can have a round weekly.
But then they have to skip the streams at least until they participate in this round.
No, you can have that in parallel, and then you just feature one of the pairs or two of the pairs and talk about these in the stream.
Maybe.
Like match of a round, where by round I mean 10 matches in parallel, and one of them at the end is streamed.
You can stream several and then try to switch. But
I guess it should be fun. Of course, we need kind of trusted people to participate because with used problems, you have to.
But I think it's easy to find 20 trusted people. Trusted meaning we all know each other.
If you would go round robin, I will start with 8 probably, not with 20.
Okay.
yeah, I guess
Sure.
making
My-
it smooth.
My first time.
Yeah, we also need to work, including myself, with technical issues. Something like this stream thing today, where I would say I use the same tools that were used in previous lockouts, and yet your streams would stop in the first semifinal after a few minutes. And I needed to do it standard way with opening a lot of things on my own computer. But I think we will do better in the future. Okay.
Thank you very much, Camille, for organizing it. I know it's hard work.
Yeah, congrats, Igor.
You're welcome. Congratulations,
Congrats, Igor.
and Mike for second
Congratulations.
place.
And yeah, thank you for joining, for having me, and hopefully we'll have more of this later.
I think we
Nice
will.
to, and nice to win such a contest on your birthday. So,
Oh,
Yeah, happy birthday, Igor.
happy birthday. Here's your gift.
Yeah.
Actually, we all knew this is why we. Your opponents.
that's much why I want to understand.
So happy birthday and see you next year in that case.
So we won't invite you for lockout until next year, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the competition next year will be like the challenge
So you
To take the title.
You really don't want to rush our next match.
Yeah, I have to prepare. At least for a year.
Okay. See you next time, both you guys. Thank you for joining, and the chat in around, I would guess, a month. We will see. The announcement will be for sure in Codeverses. Same with lockout streams organized by anybody else. I think they will be announced on Codeverses. Okay, bye-bye everybody. Have a nice night. See ya.
Bye bye. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.